Day 30. Moving Parts, that's the name of the book. It's by a fella called Edward Carson. It's released with McGill-Queens University Press in 2023, this particular one. I think they publish at least three of his books. Uh, you're going to understand why I'm going to, well, depending on your comfort with the body and yours in particular, I'm going to suggest you read this guy. uh, in which the hubbub of a verb is a clamor and buzz. That's Carson. It's the title of a section in the book about fox and crow. It's a quote from the beginning of the section. During the 6th century BCE, Aesop, first mentioned by Herodotus in histories, was a celebrated Greek storyteller and slave who won his freedom by telling fables that took the form of social commentary and moral instruction. So this book is interesting in its construction. There's all this wonderful writing that Carson does, and he interlaces it. It's like a weaving in which a number of the main threads come from other celebrated histories, which Herodotus being one of them, Sappho is in here, and Carson is in here. Replacing the fox and crow stories are the first section. He replaces the morality of suggested by a slave society to a slave society by a slave, uh, which is one of the things that makes the Aesop fable so interesting. Carson is telling us instead about language and the world. That in itself is something we're thinking about at considerable length. The guy, do have his other two books. I haven't read them yet, but the guy has got a deep mind. There's no question about that at all. This one is astounding. I'm looking forward to the other two. After this month, I'm going to take a couple of days and sleep, but I'll get there. I wouldn't say it's easy. It's relatively short. The world of ideas it both inhabits and creates is a bit like an eagle's eyrie. It's worth the work for the view. That's my take on it. It's not everybody has the kind of education that he clearly either has received or achieved himself. I don't know if he's an autodidact or not. So here are a couple of pieces from the fox and crow section, in which, this is number 3, in which the tongue unfurls in a hurried succession. Fox labors against the moon's pull, lets fly a pillaloo, and half truth that remain a tug of war between virtue and a vice, a falsehood and a fact, but Fox is also a sly solver of gravity's decree, where the only temptation is in keeping intention disguised while still plainly in sight. So haunted by crow, wily Fox inhabits the voice of persuasion, speaks from far below, and yet comes out on top, while crow, who lingers within the happy cajole of coax and charm, says much but suspects so very little, and the world wonders how it is that bad decisions are probable if the chance of a good one is not possible. All right, this is another one. It's number 7, in which all asymmetrical parts are partly unknown. Should black be accretion of trickle drip drop in a slow cobalt wave of lilac blue gold, Then the darkness of Crow is a painting observed, but seldom revealed, where the raucous concoctions of a misguided eye splash like de Kooning or drizzle like Pollock. This portrait of feathers is a temple of dapple in a tempest of cause, at first reorganizing, then redirecting its shape, where painterly Crow, so deficient in guile, is more like a moving iridescent shadow between all that's apparent but rarely perceived, like the feeling a hunter has in the dark, appearing from nowhere in search of the light. The last of the 16 short pieces in the first section, the ones I just read from, is called In Which Momentary Motion is Embedded in a Body. It's it's amazing work. Um, what it does to your head is astounding, actually. The rhythmical nature of it, along with it's like a surrealist dream with a drum chorus line directing the action. Anyway, the following section is called Primary Parts: Desire, Memory, Anatomy. There's a poem called My Tongue Flies Away. Here it is. My tongue flies away. The tongue unfurls in a hurried succession of nibble and knead, curl and nudge, where the body knows what it truly wants, yet the mind wavers all aflutter, thinking to itself this must be a moment of mind over matter, a waggle of wayward thoughts in a spree of words where words are never enough. What the discerning mind reasons are the physics of love, oscillations of flight, and the intimacies of acceleration. What you don't hear in or see here is the way the lines are very, very short. So they're couplets, sometimes of just one word lines. The last one for couplet, for example, is intimacies on its own line. The last line is of acceleration. It adds to the uh, speed of the poem. There's a sense of speed, and yet, because of all the white space, it slows down the utterance of it. It's an odd feeling where your body is traveling at two different speeds at once. There's another poem called He Slides His Hand Up Her Leg in this section. He's taking his cue from Sappho. Um, she's named in a couple of this, and then there's another title, Brushed with His Thumb the Nut of Her Nipple. He's really amazing with titles. What they do such a lot of work. There's a section called Missing Parts, which subtitle is Decomposing Sappho. Here's the poem, If She Does Not Love, Soon She Will Love. Dual and reciprocal, yet incoming more than realized, her love is missing from the thought of it, and also, by extension, its plain unpredictability fails to appear. But there is promise of a true substance and balance in the swale of bare thigh and breasts, the coveted furrows of sex, and textures of pleasure that combine in a desire notoriously subjective, so wisely calibrated and conceived that you might truly say, well, yes, actually, that is what was anticipated all along from the nude descending a staircase, dividing her body in fragments, both a fallacy and a truth. It bears repeating, this guy can do titles. Here are some from the end of the book, some of the last few. She bites her tender mind, neither for me nor the honey bee. Transparent dress, to guard against a vainly barking tongue. If the body is your playground, I strongly suggest you read Edward Carson. Next time.